cool, right? Want to know where I got it? Well, look, go to cs.money. It's a trade platform and a marketplace at the same time. Just choose, click, and get. Good luck, bro.
Case. Big update and new features in the case battles. Updated and convenient interface with new options. Up to 4 users can participate in one battle now. Create and customize your battles, any number and any type of cases. Choose the number of participants and invite your friends with a unique link. Watch the best drop and win everything. Don't miss epic battles on Hellcase.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to our second game of this evening. Of course, I'm not the person on screen. That's a completely different person altogether, but the game remains the same. I'm not Alexander Petrick. My name's Michael Cassidy. My @ on Twitter is YumiTV. And we're going to have Aristocracy versus GamerLegion in our European qualifiers here for I-League Season 8. It's going to be a bit of a tough one to call. I think a lot of people, especially if you look at the match page, the kind of odds reflected from both sides, people aren't really sure how to gauge this, and I'm in very much a similar boat. I mean, you've got the capabilities and sort of the raw experience that a team like Aristocracy will kind of bring to the table, but that is also present on GamerLegion. It's not as if this is two very different teams in terms of experience or pure kind of individual abilities. They can very much go toe-to-toe in a lot of different areas. You look at specifically the likes of Freddy Frog. Rusty came off a good game in their previous best of 3. You just saw that against Namiga. And I'm extremely excited to see how these teams really go up against one another, because I think a lot of people have kind of been looking at Aristocracy as kind of being the project child of Taz, who is, I think for a lot of people, Virtus Pro was kind of this sinking ship for quite a long time, and seeing that talent then gonna kind of go over to greener pastures or sort of newer players to kind of bring them up to speed and transfer all of that experience, that knowledge. Aristocracy is very much that kind of a project, and seeing them kind of grow into a team that can contend within the sort of upper side of that tier 2 bracket, you get to see, especially with these talents that are really unproven but have started to garner respect to themselves. You look at the likes of Diha, Rallen has been around, Maniz as well. So having that flexibility and bringing in kind of newer players means that not only is that experience then kind of transferred in as direct a way possible, but it means as well that you have that kind of father figure almost to the team, where if anybody is ever feeling kind of out of play or doesn't feel that like they're performing to the best of their abilities, they can rely on Taz to be kind of that rock, that kind of emotional or moral support, regardless of tactics or performance in a game. You see the odds kind of coming up on screen as well. It is quite a close one to call. People seem to be favoring more in line with GamerLegion, especially with them just coming off of a game. They're more than likely warmed up for this. Aristocracy will be kind of going in cold here, but they'll have a little bit of information to work off of here against GamerLegion, especially considering that Overpass is our first map. Fast play in towards B. Deha and Hampus both trade 1 for 1, but only good for the one set of frags. Taz tries his best to delay for as long as possible. Smoke deployed on the site, but cannot get away. It's again a 1 for 0, but GamerLegion will have the advantage, can get this bomb planted. Nok is up close and personal, however. Will have heard the steps of these players encroaching. Meniz is able to overcome the first opponent, but Hampus has slipped on by. A fast spin around was attempted there by Meniz, but Rowland's got him covered. Is able to do the damage and actually be a huge nuisance here to Dennis. Back and forth they go between the bomb site and the lower ground, but Dennis comes out on top. 14 HP differentiates that round being an Aristocracy win, but GamerLegion still take the pistol. Game sound up, please. I can certainly do that for you. It would just be a small boost, but hopefully that's enough to make a difference. If it kind of continues, do let me know. See if I can tweak it a little bit more. The balancing is not something that I can strictly kind of change and adapt to by myself. Of course, I'm working off of a clean feed here, so you'd have to bear with me with a few production-based problems. Good pick there from Meniz. Not going to be able to get away. It's the force buy right back from Aristocracy to try and contend with this early battle for control here on map number 1. And it's seeming to go well for them. Couple of kills gone their way. We saw Rowland pick up one with the scout as well. No mouse. Another kill, an AK recovered. That's connector presence now shown, and control now for Aristocracy to play off of. Rusty really needs to get this kill on towards the site. Bring some pressure away from that bomb carrier. It's also traverse a large portion of the map. Positioning over it long, of course. The jump spot here from that scouting player could very well catch them out, but Rowland doesn't seem privy to it. He doesn't seem to be checking that angle as of yet, and creeping up. Rusty gets the first kill. The Deagle of Deha not able to get the kill initially, but converts on Rusty. Now just Freddy Frog, 1 versus 3, AK in hand, cannot get it done. That's another AK recovered now for Aristocracy moving into the 3rd round, and the force buy that overcomes GamerLegion's full commitment out of the pistol round win. The problem becomes it's almost easier for Aristocracy to maintain this early control because they've retrieved those rifles. You look at GamerLegion, they have no real kind of X factor. We had the scout of Aristocracy in the previous round. It's all just Deagles. They've got surely enough utility, but it is not ideal, especially for a map that is as control oriented as an Overpass. Did see a missed Molotov from Aristocracy. Got a nice little aerial view of it. That would have actually prevented GamerLegion from pushing forward for another 10 seconds, so it does have some impact on the round, but no immediate consequences for that miss. Meniz tried looking for the first opening, swung right into 3 players' line of sights. I was beginning to write off the Deagles before this round had started, but Aristocracy are in with the same players, the same weaponry that they had towards the end of the last round, and GamerLegion are encroaching on towards the site. Deha does well to get 2. Meniz and Mouse, or rather Mouse and Taz, sorry, are able to at least provide support. It did look a little bit dicey. That was certainly a bit closer than I would have anticipated, but GamerLegion do make the best of their circumstances. But the crucial part for Aristocracy is that they hold on to the vast majority of rifles. It was Taz that was on the UMP able to switch over to a proper rifle as well. Keeping 3 alive means that their economy will certainly be in a better state, but again, it's these Deagles. Look how dangerous they're being with them. And Rollins isolated as well. Again, another 3 versus 4, another position in which GamerLegion could certainly convert. And this time, less investment put forward by the T side. Especially because this has happened so early on into the round. Aristocracy need to get something back. You can see slow progress being made towards long by Taz. Just so that they can get some early information, maybe cheat a rotation over towards the B bomb site if that's where GamerLegion did end up. For now, the Swedes will slow down. D-Hop. First going towards Nork. The second, not quite as crisp, but able to deal with every single one of these players moving in from bathrooms. Hampus gets nothing done as well. They tried the slow approach. They were hoping that they can maybe catch Aristocracy off guard. But instead, they are met by D-Hop. He started this game off pretty well for the side with that triple kill in the previous round. That puts him now at 7 kills to 1. The GamerLegion trying to change that now. Of course, onto proper weaponry. The SG is out on Rusty. Only one Molotov to play off for an execute, which does somewhat limit their options. You typically see an A-side execute implementing 2 or 3 Molotovs, similar with B. But the troublesome angles will likely be covered by that one bit of utility. I'm trying to be as serious as possible over here. If you would like, I could completely loosen up. I could be more relaxed with the cast. Maybe it doesn't have to be the most serious cast ever. That's entirely based on you guys. I will play off of what you give me. This is really dangerous. Roland is... Oh, he's on for the backstab. There's 4 players lined up in the bathrooms, but Meniz gets caught off guard. Roland could still pull the trigger here. Could still be the difference maker here for Aristocracy. But the timing just doesn't seem right. He's far too slow to approach, and although he catches out the first player in knock, surely the trade comes right back. For now, he'll still be a thorn in their side. Dennis able to spot out the repositioning of that player from the flank, but oh, who anticipates who first? Roland turns around, Dennis dropped. That's a crucial double kill, makes things a little bit more doable now for these Aristocracy players in from CT, but Freddy Frog gets right in their face. Disruptive play here from GamerLegion. The flash as well drew all the attention away, and now Miles left alone. 12 HP, a 1 versus 2. This is extremely dire straits in this particular instance, and Miles, not much of a chance of even really getting away here. The bomb's far too gone, and even if he'd fallen back towards the B bomb site, he would have likely lost his life to the bomb. So trying to do as much damage as possible to GamerLegions in his dying moments, but still another round accumulated for their T side. This caster was top 5 in kills in his league. Uh-huh. Yep, let's go with that one. I typically cover more the analysis side of things. I'm not the Eternal J, my name is Yumi. I'll happily plug that. My primary focus is really pinpointing problems in defaults. I've done sort of demo analysis work typically in the past, so looking at how players position themselves around the map and their specific timings is incredibly crucial. I mean, even a reactionary play like that from Aristocracy, the boost is perfect. Taz in an off angle catches GamerLegion completely off guard. And this was a round in which they only had a couple of rifles to play around. It's fantastically done. GamerLegion, although they kind of set themselves up for that B execute, now feel pretty much trapped in here. You can see the advanced position of Meniz in towards the connector as well. If GamerLegion decide to go A, there's a player that can at least relay that information to that CT side. Look, AWP looking for the first opening. It's instead Hampus that makes his way up through the bridge. Rowling goes unchecked, however. Still the 1 versus 2, and a couple of isolated engagements await Nork, but from the flank, it's that player from in Maniz. He held all the cards in Connector. He holds all the cards in the retake as well. And Nork won't have been anticipating that. It's a 4th round for Aristocracy, now doubling the scoreline of their opposition. I'll type it in the chat because let's be super real here. I've put a number in my name, and it's stupid. That's me. Yumi. There's a 3 in it, but I thought it was cool at the time. This is really the set of kills that sealed the deal there for Aristocracy. The fact Taz gets 2 there, sure, maybe 1 kill. You'd expect GamerLegion to sort of throw a myriad of flashes over as they were committing to the B execute, but Taz barely blinded up. It was only really fading flashbangs that caught him. Those were all thrown over short instead. Ooh, Dennis is looking to change the pace up here for GamerLegion. It's far more isolated play, and they line up perfectly for him. Quick double entry there from Dennis. Diha, at the very least, trades things back. So any sort of control, any sort of space that GamerLegion were hoping to take over at B will at least be faltered. But it stretches now the defenses of Aristocracy out. Repositioning over towards A, and Rotland, the timing doesn't work out in his favor. It's... I'm gonna be honest, this is not clean Counter-Strike. There's a lot of holes that are being exploited early on into this game. And just by the fact that purely on kind of solitary or a duality of rifles being brought into the rounds, those being critically impactful weapons being brought forward is already a bit of shaky territory. I guess that's kind of a testament to these teams being so closely matched. But from a strategic point of view, there's nothing incredibly deep to dive into. Relying heavily on the heroics and kind of individual capabilities of their players to get these rounds. Turn down my mic a little bit? Yeah, I can do that. What I will do is that momentarily during the warm-up bit, I'll throw to a quick break screen just so I can try and increase the volume of the game for you guys as well. Ooh, Nolt could very well lose his life, but this is a heavy risk for Maniz to take. Diha comes to act as bodyguard. In fact, gets a couple of kills. Oh, a trio of kills. Okay. Diha was on for the ace in a position where they may save. Actually gets it as well. So, I mean, that's fantastic for Diha. Gonna quickly try and implement that change as fast as possible for you guys. See if that changes anything for you. Oh, that is not what I wanted to do. You see the sharpshooting of Diha there. Hopefully that's a bit better volume-wise for you guys. Turn that back down a little bit. That should sort it. And we're back into the action. Fantastic work from Diha to do as much damage there. And you see the impact it has on GamerLegion's economy. 800 is the max in reserve for their side. That sits on Rusty. Maniz, oh, he's holding the angle. The Observer does fantastic work. He gets rid of the X-ray. You can see exactly what he sees holding that AWP. The secondary shot not going to be quite as successful, but that presence of the AWP, it's forcing GamerLegion's back. I just want you guys to have as good a time as possible while we make our way through some great competition. So, any changes, I'm more than happy to listen to feedback, whether it's about myself or the production of the stream in its entirety. There are some elements of production that are certainly out of my hands, but I will try my best. GamerLegion now running a bit low on time here. 25 seconds, and they seem to be converging towards this B-bomb site. A lot of utility. These Molotovs will certainly make things interesting and a little bit more precarious for these Aristocracy players. Viha in with the first. Secondary kill, not quite so easy. Rusty goes up high, jumping over the aim of his opposition, but still such limited time, and the bomb dropped on towards Bridge. That should surely be it. Nolt can get to the bomb in time, and although Rowland will spam away and make his position known, there was no opportunity for Nolt to bring that back for GamerLegion. It's a slow approach in the round, and after losing that first kill over towards A, they really wanted to avoid that AWP as much as possible. It seemed to cost them in the round. At the end of the day, it's all about the viewer experience. So, looking at chat, although there's a good argument to be made to not look at chat, because sometimes, you know what chat's like. But there's a lot of people that just simply want to watch the game and have a good time. And I'm all for that. 5-3, another force buy. We've seen, out of the 8 rounds we've had so far, I think at least 6 of them have had one of these teams force buy into the other. So, neither of them really want to give too much space to their opposition. I can respect that, especially to start off this game. But one of them at some point or another has to take a step back, especially for a side like GamerLegion, where I think they thrive in those situations where they're able to get that AWP online as fast as possible and kind of be a bit more methodical in their approach to taking map control. The fact that they're kind of battling for attrition early on does seem to kind of indicate that they are concerned about this matchup. They catch them off guard. Rowland seemed to adapt in time. They suffer a lot of damage in taking that duel. For now, we'll keep a slight man advantage. All while this is happening, Aristocracy are taking no control over the B-bomb site, so not able to cheat a rotation over. Still more damage being done as they cross. A lot of utility, a decent set of utility for Aristocracy here on the retake. A smoke will go in and jump behind Taz, and able to do a lot of damage up towards Freddy Frog, and that will be enough to allow Miniz to get the last set of kills. This is finally a situation in which GamerLegion, you save. And it does seem like they'll agree with me on this one. This cast is currently being run on 6.5k bitrate and x264. And I'll finish my point in just a moment. It seemed like there was some initial pressure, but nothing that Aristocracy can't handle. It is running on those stats, but do bear in mind I am working off of a clean feed, so they, I believe Starladder are streaming to a different platform. I'm then restreaming that stream so that I get all of the fancy graphics, the observer feed, everything like that. But I'm still in the sanctity of my own home. So, do bear that in mind. Sometimes any sort of visual degradation will likely be from the clean feed side, and so it does carry over kind of 2 times over for my stream as well. seek to inform. Aristocracy, not able to win out in any of these opening duels. Maniz may be able to get one back, but Rusty seems to have a keen eye locked on towards that connector. GamerLegion do not want to give up any unnecessary kills here, because they only just barely afforded to buy up into this one. Limited utility coming in towards that B bomb site. They simply brute force their way through. Nok has Maniz's number, phoned him up and left him poor voicemail. And Rollin may just be able to get away with this weapon. Doesn't seem like GamerLegion are too intent on hunting, simply holding their angles and limiting the space in which Aristocracy could save. But that SG should carry over into the next round. GamerLegion doing a very good job of finding those opening picks. And because it was so early in the round, Aristocracy weren't kind of set up into their contingencies. Suppose if that's showing up, I'll put this one up, because this one's in English. Of course, partners over at CS Money. You've seen the adverts. Little plug for them. Go for the stream. In onto Maniz. Oh, not quite so much damage in return. Actually, somewhat similar. He took a nade and he was like, no, I'm not fine with taking that much damage. Here. Have some yourself. Growlin's in dangerous territories here. This smoke is going to begin to fade soon enough, and he's very isolated towards the bathrooms. The flash on through. Ooh, the timing is good, but Nok still hits the shot. Fully flashed up. He's able to get that first duel. Prevent any of his teammates from going down in doing so as well. Because if that shot is missed, he more than likely is able to get, if not only the one kill, then maybe a bit of damage onto a secondary player as well. GamerLegion are hardly moving away from this A site. Instead regrouping over it long, and Aristocracy are making a gamble here. Putting the majority of their eggs towards that B basket. And unfortunately for them, it's the wrong call. I certainly like the idea, because now, because they've chosen the wrong bomb site, they're in a good position to kind of cover each other for the save. But and had GamerLegion gone towards the B site, there would have been more players there than GamerLegion would have potentially thought to be defending that bomb site. So understand the risks of the gamble. They should be able to get away with 4 players staying up here for the CTs. The troubling thing becomes that GamerLegion are starting to get a firm grip of their economy, so even if Aristocracy start to win more rounds on their CT side, GamerLegion have that kind of economic backbone to sit and rely on moving forward for the rest of the half. Really, if Taz and the boys want to get a nice first map advantage, finishing things off strong on their CT side would be a good way to do it. Ten to 5 is definitely the type of scoreline you're looking for. GamerLegion will try their best to contest as heavily as possible. Make it as difficult as possible for Aristocracy to kind of approach their T side as well. They start to get some good momentum here. These Swedes start to pull that lead away. from Taz and Diha alike. The second half could be a very different story. Long control being contested here by the CT side. GamerLegion haven't put too much emphasis on this in the earlier portion of the mid-round, but ooh, they give it up just as Rowland begins to push forward. Now they've been spotted out. GamerLegion can really crunch on through, and he's being left high and dry. He has two angles to worry about simultaneously. He sat in front of the rock, so he doesn't have to be immediately concerned about his behind, but as he turns Hampus, the Molotov, it's perfectly played from GamerLegion to limit the opportunities for Rowland to fight back. Maniz very much left him on an island. Instead of staying to support, he went to hold the bathrooms, as that became another problem area. But 15 seconds for the T's to get towards the site, get this bomb planted, to extend the timer. Maniz is still alive and kicking. First kill is there. Second kill not going to happen. They cannot deny the plant, but they're able to get the frags. Freddy Frog was only by himself for a short while as he meets the rest of his teammates in the grave. But it's a pretty chaotic string of events over towards the A side of the map. So many kills in such a short span of time, and it was the last bullet of Diha that actually sealed Freddy Frog's fate as well. I remember when Diha was kind of first announced to be playing alongside Taz, there was a lot of questions. People kind of harping on Diha as being this kind of ridiculous player that I think a large portion of the community at one point or another seemed to think he cheated. But he's having such a strong performance to start things off, and he's definitely proved himself to be anything, to be everything but that. That nade does so much damage to Mouse. Now only a couple bullets away from death. Given it's a 4-on-4, GamerLegion aren't picking up the pace whatsoever. Instead, playing it a little bit slower. Waiting to see if Aristocracy change anything in their CT side setup, whether they look to get aggressive again in the mid-round. They got caught out initially by Rowland just the round prior. Although they were able to deal with them, it shows that Aristocracy are being a little bit proactive in their setups. Timely smoke from D-Hop. Again, 25 seconds remain for GamerLegion to pull the pin. Push towards one of these sides. D-Hop gets the first, not able to line them up for a nice little spray down. Mal's just trying to buy some time, stay alive for as long as possible for these rotates to come through. Cannot stop the plant, but jumping up high, it's Dennis atop the box that pushes the advantage to GamerLegion's favor. Maniz may just be able to creep through, though. The smoke makes things more difficult for Dennis than things need to be, but around the pillar, he's unable to line up the frag. And that may push Maniz back. He may simply think that this is not worth doing as he goes for the first shot. The instant trade as Rowland caught in the 1 versus 2. The flash to try and buy him a little bit more space. Nok misses in his opening shot, and Rowland cannot get it done. Too much time has gone by. Although there were a lot of missed opportunities on both sides, GamerLegion come out ahead by an inch. It's definitely been a half of force buys. And I suppose with this being the last round of the half, best time to do so. They invest everything they can here, Aristocracy. A couple of kits available for that CT side. Rowland even going as far as to drop a weapon over to his teammates instead of getting any sort of utility for himself, but Aristocracy get aggressive early on. Short control gained. Dennis is met an early fate, but Raul and all the meanwhile drop towards the bathrooms area. It's one of the rifles out of the hands of the CT side, and you can see the large rotation that's having to come through just to make up for the space. They've got Maniz on the backstab as well. He could be a game changer. Depends which path he takes. Long has definitely been a heavy emphasis for them. Oh, Hampus goes back to clear things out. Maniz is unsuspecting. This time, GamerLegion pulled the pin a little bit earlier on into the round. 45 seconds. The first kill is easy for Deha as they jump through the smoke, but they line up for Mouse. What is that? One unchecked angle and Mouse fully capitalizes the quick triple for Aristocracy to take the half 9-6. I mean, you gotta clear your angles. You've got to clear your angles, GamerLegion, but Mouse does so well to convert that. We get to see it again. They don't fully clear it. He's on 19 HP at the end of things. And that's a way in which you can really get your team rallied behind you. Whether GamerLegion feel the effects of that coming into the second half remains to be seen, because that can certainly rattle the confidence. Losing a round in that manner is certainly not ideal. Although they'll have experienced feelings like this previously, easier said than done to simply dismiss it. Second half pistol certainly underway. Hampus, a lot of pressure received on towards A. Dennis able to come in on that rotation, deal with the first player, encroaching on through the secondary player as well. And Taz is on a backstab. He could certainly prove to be a nuisance here for GamerLegion. He's being greedy with it. Wanted to get more than one here on that long rotation, but he's all alone. 1 versus 3 ensues. His position certainly a known fact here from that CT side, and Rusty dials in number 7. They take the second half pistol. In fact, it's both CT sides to come ahead. Actually, no. GamerLegion are 2 for 2 in pistol rounds. We saw them give up the following round to Aristocracy's force buy in the first half. Whether we're destined for the same fate, a tougher ask on the C side. He blew up all the balloons. Dennis is angry about it. He gets a double kill towards middle. Nork as well from long is able to contribute. Has again, another 1 versus 3. Hopefully not a recurring theme for that half. But he dies all the same. I apologize if the quality is not living up to what you would expect. Unfortunately, that is not something that is within my control personally. I do wish I could help. I do wish I could fix it. But I can't. Hampus, good confidence over at long. Ooh, shooting gallery. Okay. That's crisp and quick. Taz again the last man standing, and Nork comes into the denial of the ace. Come on, man. That's just disrespectful. So while GamerLegion seem to play it very slow on their T side, it seems like, especially to start off the second half, immediately in with this kind of second wind, this new confidence. Fast play, getting aggressive as well to meet what Aristocracy are kind of throwing at them and catch them off guard. And it's something we never really saw Aristocracy take advantage of on their CT side. They didn't really go for these aggressive pushes. They didn't try and take control away too often. It was typically towards the connector, if anywhere. See if Allen, ooh, able to just narrowly come ahead on that opening goal towards Dennis. Another pick there for Aristocracy, and it continues to compound. B-Bomb site is certainly looking like a juicy target here for Aristocracy. Hampus does find the timing, is able to narrowly get away. Fantastic maneuvering around the bomb site to be as evasive as possible. But him only getting the one frag meant things were incredibly difficult from there on out. And as soon as GamerLegion get within touching distance of taking the lead, Aristocracy fight back. True, it was an eco. It was an attempt at an eco ace. But I mean, eco or not, you know, you'll take an ace where you can get it. And Hampus was looking large and in charge. Oh, that nade does so much to Nork. He jumps up, wants to go for that pick, doesn't even get to fire off a shot before he thinks, nope, this is a bad idea. I'm out. Slow approach from Aristocracy, grouping themselves up outside of B. They do need to retake short control, as although they had presence there earlier on into the round, and since given it up. So the opportunities were there for GamerLegion to get a little bit aggressive. Not making any presence, not throwing any utility. Such that GamerLegion will have an inkling as to what's going on, still keeping two players over towards the A side of the map, another smoke deployed. This is buying more and more time here for GamerLegion to adapt and player over towards the B side. The flash is perfect, but it doesn't catch Freddy Frog. All the meanwhile, Hampus is coming for a kill. Freddy, in fact, gets the double. And the push seems to have been trumped here from Aristocracy. Diha started to be concerned about the flank, as everybody that looked to entry the B bomb site got immediately shut down. And Rusty pulls in the last kill there for GamerLegion. That looked like it was potentially going the complete other direction. Rusty was fully flashed up. They needed Freddy to get that first and initial kill. Aristocracy weren't close enough to really track him down and punish either of those players at Monster. Things went from bad to worse very rapidly. Also, Zero Aimer, you're absolutely correct. It is more... It makes more economic sense to have the SMGs up front, because you want to get rid of them. You want to get the kill bonuses. You don't want to give your opponents strong weaponry at long range. Just not a good idea. You're absolutely right. Hamilton does a little bit of damage there in return on Taz. The good early pressure applied to these CTs. You expect that Freddy plays a bit more of a passive angle. Maybe waits that additional 1 or 2 seconds before swinging to help support his teammates, and that could definitely be influential. Yeah, that is the third or fourth. That's the third time we've seen Nork get naded down to about half HP. He may be willing to take that shrapnel and hope of getting an opening pick each and every time into the round. It's instead Aristocracy that opened things up. 30 seconds remain to get some things going. Taz applying the pressure. Nork able to hit the no-scope, but unable to react in time from that pressure from Long. Still a back and forth trade. Hampus is sharp. 3 kills as he retakes in towards the A bomb site, and before I know it, everything has happened. GamerLegion get back on towards the site. They suffer no more casualties as a result, all because Hampus gets those first 2 initial kills so fast, so rapidly, that Aristocracy cannot react. That is clinical stuff from Hampus. Maybe not the most strategically sound. Could have potentially waited for his teammates, you know, played a bit more reserved, used the utility, but instead he's like, no, not giving them a chance to set up. And he shows us exactly why he went with that line of thinking. Kaz is beaten past the Molotov. Ooh, a bit of spam. Oh, that's unfortunate. Taz heard Hampus spamming through the wood, and so he wanted to capitalize, and as he thinks about doing it, Rust clears short. Maybe that's something that GamerLegion have practiced, understanding what some of the timings could be there from Aristocracy. At least a good recognition of what the possibilities were from the T side. Could have been a great opportunity to open things up for Aristocracy, instead it goes the other way. GamerLegion on their T-side half were very much A-side focused. A few rounds over towards B, usually when they meet resistance over on this portion of the map. Aristocracy look to kind of maintain that same line of thinking. Oh, the triple boost, they're going for it. They want to catch out this rotating player, but there's nobody to be seen. Instead, they're all hiding in off angles, one and done positions. Oh, Rallon just spots him out. Walking away, Hampus spotted and taken out of position. Not suspecting the triple man boost, but that does at least give GamerLegion an idea of where the last 3 remain. Nork holding the angle on the cross. They cannot get to the bomb site safely, and although Maniz may be able to recover the bomb, could have had the chance to get it planted, he's not going to risk it, realizing that his hopes and the chances of getting to that site, getting himself into an advantageous position enough to win a 1 versus 3 was too idealistic. The GamerLegion begin to separate. A 2-round lead now in this second half. Of course, considering this is GamerLegion's map pick, you would expect them to come away with this victory. Definitely a better record over what Aristocracy could bring. Definitely one of the win conditions for this series. Dennis. Well to run away here. Still looking for an answer right back, as they've already lost Nork. On the other side of things, they've subjected themselves to the AWP presence of that T side. Hampus narrowly gets away. His position should be known. And now, how do GamerLegion react? Freddy losing that initial player, smoke towards bathrooms. Freddy is looking for a bit of information. Maniz drops right into his line of sight. Hampus able to combine alongside his teammates, surviving on 1 HP for now, but only momentarily. Everything seems to be falling apart in this round here for GamerLegion. Rusty will try his best to claw things back. Mouse caught with his knife out, didn't even seem to attempt to switch back to his weapon. Be realizing that there was not a chance he could get away regardless, but Rusty could certainly still make this work. A kit available, a smoke as well to try and isolate one of these players. Diha tries his best to maintain the cross, but Rallon has him dead to rights. 11 to 12. Aristocracy chime right back. And the economy for GamerLegion is not in the greatest of states. Likely to be a half buy. We see exactly that. The Deegs come out. Hope we see a little bit of utility. I would be a little bit disappointed if GamerLegion don't pick up a couple of flashes. A flash and a smoke, it'll do. Adding a couple bits of utility could make these pistols so much more dangerous. GamerLegion are very thinly spread. Hampus over at long. Trying to potentially capitalize in a early B-side execute call from Aristocracy. That is a more default-oriented setup. Nork in the boosted position. The observer seemed it important to note that. The only other way he could be in this spot is if he was boosted, but just jumping himself. Doing a little prowess. A little bit of dexterity. Denise has crept on through. Dennis. Oh, he has the timing. Denise tries to clear that close banana position, but as Dennis thinks about picking up the weapon, Garland is there to make sure that doesn't happen. Rusty, Molotov out. Tags again overrun, but at least he has support from his teammate in Diha. And all in all, a pretty standard proceeding round. The only issue for this one could be that Mouse is very far away from this bomb site. Freddy, if he finds this opening pick, could certainly make things possible. There it is. Diha's gone. Rollins taking more space in towards CT. He actually takes and finds the timing on Freddy Frog. A bit of a risk. Had the Deeg had his position, or been kind of aimed at that position to begin with, but he went for the jump spot, trying to find out what the last player is. He's able to capitalize. That certainly puts pressure on the Aristocracy economy now. Only 2 players surviving in a round that should have been fairly clear-cut. Again, the balloons suffer an untimely fate. This time, Nok isn't on the receiving end of that grenade. Holding a bit further back on their CT side with that AWP. Instead, positioning himself over at long. And coming into this half, I thought GamerLegion were going to be far more aggressive on their CT side. Ever since Aristocracy have started answering back with a couple rounds of their own, they've gone back to maintaining these kind of passive setups, and while that certainly has its place, I do think that GamerLegion being a little bit more proactive could certainly benefit them. Alt vs Op duel, already a success for the polls. Dennis able to pick up that mantle, though. Do what Nok could not. Miles has no idea how much trouble he's in. 3 players await around this and this. Oh. First kill at least successful over at B. But Dennis is still being proficient with this AWP. A dynamic player, and one that could certainly secondary ult for the GamerLegion side. Will look to deter them from the bomb site. With 8 seconds left, they do get that bomb planted. Now GamerLegion begin this rotation, begin the retake. They have no kits to play off, no utility. Diha above the smoke catches Rusty out. The second player towards the steps, not quite spotted out. And Diha is looking for a chance on in. The AWP shot through the box, actually converted on Taz. Headshot him, in fact, but not able to get himself the kill. It's just the parting gift on Diha that Dennis will take and gladly return into the next round with this AWP. 13 rounds accumulated now, and ever closer to the illustrious 16. Great job from Dennis to bring things at least a little bit closer there. Oh, I thought we were going to get to see the spam through the boxes. See, headshot Taz with the AWP, which is a bit ridiculous. It still didn't kill him. Yeah, I've seen people asking in the chat. Of course, you guys have answered the correct way, but I guess in an official capacity, I'll respond. This is a qualifier for a league. Rather, a mainstay event, I think, based in Turkey. I think the next one's in Turkey, mistaken. The previous day, we had the Asia qualifiers. We've had, towards the end of that day as well, we had the start of the European qualifiers, but this is still Group A. Again, Nork's on the receiving end of that grenade. This time only 40 damage without armor, so a little bit further away from the main part of the explosion. But a different approach here from GamerLegion, putting more emphasis in towards middle and connector. Two players coupled up in each position here. Aristocracy seems to be walking into it. Dennis, of course, saving that up over, looking for an opening duel. Some type of advantage to be gained in the early round. There very well may be a chance that Nok goes down here. He is somewhat hidden. None of them have actually cleared him. Rowland, oh, surely you turn around. One of you has to. Nok is lining them up. The first kill there on Taz. Beniz is able to at least get the trade right back, and they should know where Dennis is positioned there with the AWP, but they still peek right into him. Rusty, all the meanwhile, takes down Rowland as well. And Aristocracy have fallen into the trap. It's again an uncleared angle that catalyzes the entirety of this round. Had they cleared out Nok, things would have been so much easier, but now they need to brute force their way in towards this B bomb site. Only a Molotov and a flash to get this bomb planted, and for now, Mouse isn't moving an inch, still locking down that connector, trying to prevent these players from reinforcing the B bomb site, but now he has to go. 15 seconds left, sure they can get the ult out of Dennis's hands, but that's now the round. Mouse has zero chance of making this a possibility, almost lands the timing. He had the inkling, he went for the shot. I guess you'll never know just how close he was. That should not be happening. The same thing happened towards the end of the first half for GamerLegion. But again, I reiterate, please just clear your corners. Nok isn't even really hiding behind a smoke. It's not within some kind of texture. It's not dark where he is. There's no excuse. They just didn't look. And sure, it was only, that was kind of one and done frag, but it did enough. Made it so the Aristocracy players were a little bit less grouped up. They couldn't trade effectively. Oh, this kill could be crucial. The only player showing any sort of presence over towards B. Flash on through, doesn't blind up Maniz. Dennis has fallen. Nok now very isolated towards the A site. You can see his teammate in Hamp is trying his best to get there as fast as possible, reinforce that position from the back lines, and there's that kill on B that I was talking about. Malz was the only player that showed any sort of presence over that side of the map, and as soon as there's aggression on A, anticipating a counterplay from that CT side, the 4-on-1 advantage is held, and Freddy Frog likely to save this into the next round. T-Bren is 100% right. I don't control the camera. I don't control most of what happens on screen. I am merely a voice. Also, in terms of my individual ability, or my individual kind of rank or playability, I think the highest rank I ever got to was Supreme. Played in ESEA main, or rather coached a team at one point or another in ESEA main, and did a bit of coaching and playing in intermediate. If that's any indication to you whatsoever. Not quite, you know, some of the analysts we have nowadays, especially in the tier 1 side of things. You've got, I mean, you've got, what, Maniac, Pimp, you know, they will compete at the highest level. Also, I am not Eternal J. I will put my Twitter right here, so that, at least, there. Of course, I don't control anything that happens to the channel, really. I broadcast what I'm given. I cast what I can. So this is likely number 15 for Aristocracy. We saw a round similar to this from that Polish CT side, where they had a couple of rifles, they made it work. They relied heavily on these crucial double kills. GamerLegion have been sharp with the deagles. Don't get me wrong, they've been very good on the pistols. But Aristocracy are playing methodical Counter-Strike. And although I will criticize them for not clearing certain positions, they're not going to get caught up by pushes like this. A crunch in towards the connector. Mal's again alone. It's a 1-for-1 trade. Sure, that's a rifle that's recovered. But that does give up some of the game here for Aristocracy. You see the ground that they're taking over towards long. That's a hole that's exploitable here in the CT side defense. Ampus will try his best to meet the timing. Make sure that his teammate doesn't get backstabber. Aristocracy don't kind of creep their way in towards deep CT. This is the most impactful frag right here. If Nork able to get away with one, that completely changes the round. Kills attention away from Hampus. 1-for-1 exchange. A 2 versus 3 now for Aristocracy. They can get this bomb planted. The smoke will at least alleviate some pressure, but they need to take some ground here. They know that the backside is completely exposed. Splitting up in this affair is... that could be the end of Aristocracy in the round. Is instead Taz that comes out ahead. Not able to quite track down the trade, and Taz has actually gone one further. That's a big play from Taz that could have really come back to bite Aristocracy in the behind, but he pulls up where he needs to, gets all the kills on that CT rotation, and Aristocracy now touching distance away from taking map no 1. Ready, forward position. Don't know that he heard that player towards the playground. He has no support. If Muniz is able to clear things out, okay. Doesn't even need to. Rallen's peaked. Won the duel. North will try and cover his tracks, but they just don't anticipate that forward position. Muniz has slowly been working up. Misses opportunity at finding the first frag, but is able to at least keep his teammate up as they continue to push forward slowly but surely. Still very spread out here on that T side and waiting for some sort of a CT reaction. It's going to be pressure towards Banana. That bathroom's position is for the taking. And Hampus has certainly been having a great game for the GamerLegion side, but needs to be brilliant. First kill there onto D-Hop. Mouse will attempt to trade things back, but Hampus doesn't suspect that they've crept in towards the bomb site. For now, there's a hole that Dennis can exploit. Taz, maybe the first to go down. It's a labored spray in the end there from Dennis. Mouse will go back to trade things out. He's been that backstabbing presence. And Rusty, 1 versus 3, surely not a possibility. Mals will get the last kill there for the Aristocracy side. It was a pretty rough state of affairs. It was a back and forth game pretty consistently. And although things got close, they needed to be a little bit more convincing for me to think this was going to come away as a GamerLegion's win. I will reiterate, this isn't me on screen. Not wearing a Russian yellow sweater. My name is Michael Cassidy. I'm your caster and host for these last sets of best of threes. Overpass was close. There were a lot of really chaotic rounds, but we still got another map to come. That would be Vertigo, and I think that is going to be a more one-sided affair.